on that note, I'm going to welcome Mr. Niall-Spooner Harvey.
Hello there. Yes, Hannah started off the night with a poem about a dating ad, and I have spent so much of my short little life internet dating, it's not even funny.
I disagree.
And it is actually. The first half of this poem is made up of ads that I actually found on the internet. And the second half I made up after I got bored of the ads that I did. And it's the kind of ad I'd want to read. So it goes like this. I guess people should get to know me as I'm open, bright, amusing and attractive. I'm 27. When not working, I'm a bit of a party animal, but at the same time I do enjoy just chilling out as often as possible. I've got a passion for food and cycling. I'm an up for a laugh sort of person. I love loads of types of music. I like laughing and conversation, lazy days in the sun, reading books. I'm pretty lively and enthusiastic, but I'm also warm and earnest. I'm addicted to The Simpsons, and I like reality TV, which I analyse from a profound psychological perspective, of course. I like lots of stuff. I like music, cooking and eating, climbing, laughing. I believe that inner beauty is essential. It'd be good to find out about you. I'm bright, but equally as brazen, cultured and well-read, but loud and leery. I enjoy travelling, food, wine and a good conversation. I get down the gym and swim fairly regularly, but prefer to shake my booty. I enjoy both my working and social life, but with the latter revolving mostly around my good friends, I'm left with little time to meet a like-minded person. I could write a lot of self-promotional nonsense, but I think I'd rather let you be the judge. I genuinely like the company of other people. I like playing cards with the boys down the pub. I also like to play down the... I like bricks! Of an evening than looking at someone's belly button hair and telling them it's disgusting. I once made up a fictional cricket team and then spent nights playing games with 2 dice and a pencil just so I could find out about my fake cricket team's exploits. My carpet doesn't match the drapes. I've got a 4th nipple. I like to play bridge on a knackered old Acorn computer. I was indirectly responsible for the deaths of thousands when I worked for a water company in Siberia. I was once dumped by a man with a mustache, and so I have an irrational hatred of men with mustaches. I am a walking compost heap made out of apples and lemon and sex. I smell of seafood down there, and I have a waxy, cheesy build-up too. I have this habit of touching all the lampposts on the way home, and then when I'm done doing that, I touch all the fly posters on the wall, and then I read all the numbers on the telegraph poles. I was a statistician in the city, but I got sacked for having sex on the stock exchange floor in front of all the traders. I say I have a curvy and busty figure, but really my name is Jeffrey, and I live in Enfield with my West Highland White Terrier, whose name is Sloppy Chops. I'm not laid back, I'll kill you if you leave the olives out of the fridge. I'm secretly fed up of being into salsa dancing like every fucker else. I'm single, but have a force field around me big enough to take over the entire world. I eat tons and tons and tons of French fries and tell tons and tons and tons of interesting lies. I am a chinchilla, I am a breast, I am a sausage, and this is how I spend my time. I really regret that this is how I spend my time. Second one, there was a really kind of blatant sexual reference in that last poem. I don't actually like that, because I'm the least sexual person ever. And this poem is about that, really. It's called So Many People Write About Sex, and it's about sex poems. It goes like this. So many people write about the sex they've had. Sex that fills the room with electricity. Sex that leaves piles of oysters by the corner of the bed. Sex that tears off its black polo neck, dumps its jeans and smokes a cigarillo. Not a cigar, a cigarillo, because it's smaller and more sophisticated. So many people write about the sex they've had, and they describe tastes and smells and sounds. I tasted you, I smelt you, I heard you say my name. But personally, I think I taste quite salty, and no one wants to be reminded of anything salty unless it's a bacon sandwich. Nothing quite like a bacon sandwich in the morning. Bacon, not sex. Bacon, not sex. So many people write about the sex they've had, but I don't. Why not? Well, it's not that it's bad. I'm not revealing details. I don't want to get dumped. It's just that I'm quite a fat, hairy man with a bit of a facial tic, a monobrow, and a physique that consists of a potato attached to a colostomy bag attached to some frog's legs. And if you want to imagine a potato, a bag of crap, and the limp back end of a frog having sex with anything, go on then. Logistically easy, physiologically confused. But I'm not going to waste time telling you the room fills with electricity, or Elton John is singing Sacrifice in the background, or anything at all about fluids. Because I don't want you to think about sex. However, if you do have a partner, or at least someone you have a crush on, you're quite at liberty to think about them instead. That, at least, will be productive. Thank you. This poem is Valentine's Day. I am a smug married. This poem is about when stuff hits the rocks and you have to rescue yourself. And I do it in a particularly silly way. And this is about that. It's called Please Forgive Me. In our house, when we have rows, we don't like it. No one likes it anyway, do they? So we've developed a strategy for when we've finished a row, which helps to defrost the atmosphere afterwards. When we've finished a row, and a few seconds have passed during which I have eyeballed her, or she has eyeballed me, one of us will make the noise. A breathy noise that sounds like we've spent the last 5 years mourning the catastrophic death of a beloved pet. The noise works like this. One of us says, "Please forgive me." And the other one says, And unless I've done something terribly, terribly, horribly bad and wrong, all is right with the world again. But nevertheless, there are still some things I have done which I cannot forget about, and for which I will now apologise in writing. Like that time I locked you and your mother out of the house because I'd accidentally pooed on the bathroom floor and was trying to clean it up. Yes, that time. Please forgive me. Or that time we were planning our wedding and I stormed out of the house because you had told me I had addressed one of the invitation envelopes incorrectly. Yes, that time. Please forgive me. Or that time I burst into tears in the middle of Borough Market because we were both feeling indecisive about whether or not to have sausages for lunch. Please forgive me. Or that time I was ranting so loud about some inconsequential topic or other, possibly tax, that the woman behind us on the bus kept saying, "You don't have to take that," under her breath. Please forgive me. Or that time I took you looking the wrong way at a traffic light as a sign that you didn't trust my sense of direction and should therefore have been loudly told that yours was rubbish and mine was better. Please forgive me. Or that time I had a panic attack on the plane to the States because I wasn't sure whether or not the Americans would let us bring your dad's cheese into the country. Please forgive me. It doesn't always work. There are times when you need to sit at the back of the house and I need to sit at the front of the house, and cold air sits in the middle of the house and no one says anything. But even when this happens, I know there will soon come a time when we're both in a good mood and can resume our favourite pastime of saying disgusting words to each other in a silly voice. Drippings, salty, crusty, moist underboob, teat, flange, candida albicans, you know, those sorts of words. And eventually there might even come a time when someone being interviewed on Radio 4 says some government body or other is scrutinising something for some reason, and we both turn to each other and say, "Scrutinising," in a silly voice. Like that time when we first met and we turned to each other and said "myocardial infarction" at the same time in a silly voice and knew it was love. But for now, I'm not perfect. I'm out on my own again, and you're a knitting group. So if you come back and find I have moved anything in our house to an annoying place, I ask you, as usual, to please forgive me.